knows no goodbyes, only the path across a vast untime finds the love it left behind.
My name is Martha Copeland, and back in 2001, my daughter Kathy was involved in a terrible accident with my niece Rachel. And after the accident, the two girls made a pact that if one of them should ever die, the one in the spiritual world would come back and let the one in the physical world know they were okay. Unfortunately, 3 weeks later, on December 23rd, 2001, my daughter was involved in a fatal accident. It was 5 months later that my niece called me, and she said, "Aunt Martha, I've got Kathy's voice on my computer." Naturally, I thought because she was grieving, because they were cousins but also best friends. She was just grieving, and I said, "Okay, well, that's really wonderful, Rachel." But then my sister got on the phone and she said, "No, you need to come over here. It's Kathy's voice." So I went over there, and when she played the recording, you could hear Kathy saying, "I'm still here." And then there was a male voice that followed, saying, "How do you know they can hear you?" And you can imagine how shocked and actually thrilled I was to hear it. It was just unbelievable that I could hear my daughter's voice again. Rachel told me about the pact at that time that they had made. And she started laughing, saying what Kathy at the time told her. She said, "If I should go first, I'm going to write cat, cat, cat all over your computer screen." So Rachel said she was in bed that night, and she was thinking about the pact, and she started crying because she missed Kathy. And she got out of bed, and she turned on the computer and found something about EVP, electronic voice phenomena. And she started trying to get Kathy through the computer. And she tried for many, many hours and didn't have any success. So she finally tried one more time. And when she did, she got Kathy's voice saying, "I'm still here." I had mothers that would come to my house, and they had lost children, and we started recording together. And in time, with much work, each mother was able to get their child's voice in the recordings. A mother in the group started emailing me, Karen Mossy, and I started picking up her son Rob's recordings, his voice in my recordings. I have one special recorder that I use, and I don't let anyone else use it, and I don't even like people to handle it because it's my special connection to Kathy. And I take this recorder everywhere I go, but on one vacation, I forgot to pack it. But when I returned home and I turned on my recorder, I could hear Kathy's voice saying, "Where's Mom?" Like she'd come through the house while I was gone, and she couldn't find me. My recorders sometimes just mysteriously turn on by themselves. And one example is when I left my house one time and I forgot Kathy's dog Doja was in the house. When I returned home, he had made this huge mess, gigantic mess in my house. And I picked up my recorder, and when I played it, I could hear Kathy's voice saying, "Doja, no," like she's scolding the dog.
Okay, we were on vacation in Mexico, and we had a fatal car crash. My son died, and my daughter was critically injured. My daughter was in a coma, and when she woke up, I had to tell her that her brother died, and her first words were, "He can't be dead. He speaks to me every day." I just was really happy because I knew that he was around, and I was always looking for signs that my son was around. I would receive dimes, feathers, and actually when you're a mom and you're looking for your child, you accept anything as a sign. And one day I took a picture, it had 3 sevens on it, and I'm sure it was a camera malfunction, but to me it was a sign. So I asked people their opinion, and someone had told me as we were speaking about paranormal pictures, and she said, "You know, if you talk into a recorder, someone might answer you, and you might be able to talk to your son." So my first reaction was, this can't be true. So I went home and I turned on the sound recorder of my computer. I spoke into it, and a man answered me. And he said his name was Remaden, and he was 100. And I didn't listen anymore. I just was shocked. And after, when I learned how to listen for voices, as you record more, you learn to hear. I went back to my first recording, and my son was on it. He was the next voice speaking. So after that, I got little bits and pieces, and someone came and said, speak to her, a woman. And then I heard Ma, and then I knew after that. After that, he talked to me all the time. Because then I realized that's my son, and once you know, you just talk. Now it's right. You just go, Joe.